Hey guys, welcome to Civ 2. My name is Miss Jackson. I am going to be your instructor for this semester. So I just wanted to kind of give you a quick overview orientation of the course so that way you would know some very specific guidelines and deadlines and little things like that, and also where to find things. Now, most of this is located in your syllabus, so I want to show you where to find that as well. So the first thing that you should have done, obviously, when you got on here is you see the home screen, and you should have clicked right there. That is going to take you to that introduction topic forum that you must post in, preferably by Wednesday, definitely by Thursday, in order to remain in the class. Now, you only need to go in the next couple of days and post your introduction to start. You have until Sunday to kind of respond to some of your classmates, introduce yourself to them, that kind of thing. But in order to remain in the class, you have got to go to this introduction topic forum. I'm going to click here just so we can kind of see where we're at. And you have got to make sure that this post is up. Now, I am going to go on Thursday morning and start putting shows and no shows in, which means if you have not submitted here by Thursday, you will be marked as a no show, and you can only get that fixed if you finish and fix this by Thursday night. Okay, this is a college and state requirement. This is not just on me. So you absolutely must make sure that you make your post by then. Now, I will change all those first thing Friday morning. You'll get marked in as a show as long as you have posted, and then you still have until Sunday to go comment. Keep in mind with discussion boards, it's definitely one of these things that you want to, it's the only way we can really build community. So take the discussion boards as they are. They are a portion of your grade, but you definitely want to make sure that you are going through and you are, getting these things done each week. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the home screen because this is technically what you should have been doing. Is you click back on the home screen, and then you're going to see that start here button. So that's going to take you to the course orientation, which is where you found this video. And then this video is going to have questions and stuff like that about it. That's part of the grade for the week. So I know that you've actually watched it and gone through it. So just make sure that you finish this up. You can watch this and redo this as many times as you need to, but this is kind of where we go. Now, after today, after you get through your course orientation and all that stuff, you have two options. You can either use this module link guy right here, or you can go over here to the left-hand side where you're going to find a lot of these buttons, and I'm going to kind of explain what some of them do to you, or for you rather. And there you go. So the first thing is this announcements. And right now it's not showing anything visible because I haven't made any yet. Generally, when I make an announcement there, I also send it as an email. So just make sure that you're consistently checking your emails, because I send one minimum once a week to kind of go over the stuff that you need to be doing. And also if there's ever any issues that come up. Now, speaking on that front, please make sure that if you find an error or an issue or something like that, that you're emailing me to let me know, so that way I can fix it and then let everyone know that it's been fixed and has been changed. Okay, don't just assume somebody else has already done so unless you've gotten that email. The next button that we have here is the syllabus button. So the syllabus button that we take in has three or four things rather. So first off, it has a copy of your syllabus. You definitely want to make sure that you download this. You want to make sure that you read through it. Whether you do so or not, you are responsible and held liable for everything that is in it. It is going to include information on the textbook that you are required to have for the class. And of course, it's going to run really slow while I try to do it. Just make sure you hit download. And it's going to go through your percentages, where you can also kind of see this. Now, it does look a little higher than 1% because I have a possibility of extra credit in here. Just kind of go with it. But you are only going to get graded at 100% for the college. Okay, you can't make higher than 100, just put it that way. It also goes over what's going to be required of you as far as your syllabus goes, what's going to be required of you, where your points come from, what to do about deadlines, what about extensions, what about extra credit, what do I do with plagiarism, etc., etc. So you have all of this stuff is involved in that syllabus, so you really want to make sure that you look back over it. The second thing is this printable calendar to use. Now, what I did is I went ahead and I made one up. It tells you the week that you're on, what is due that week, what date it is going to be due by. Deadlines are non non-negotiable. Also, if you notice there's things like this Saturday deadline or Thursday deadline, those are when things changes. Generally speaking, everything is due Sunday night by 11:59 p.m. Not midnight, that's technically the next day, 11:59 p.m. So make sure. It also has college dates. Now you notice that we have listed like Mardi Gras break and spring break. Keep in mind that this is an online course. You are taking this class because that way you can work at your own pace. You can get things done when you have time to get them done, as long as you get them done prior to the deadline. That does mean that even though technically the college is on break, and even though there is not an assignment that will be due during one of those breaks, you still have those dates available to work. So take a look when we go through the modules and kind of see how you can work ahead. It also gives you a course summary, which is basically just a really big thing of doing like all of this stuff. So if I go back to the home, when you click this start here button, it takes you to your course module link. Okay. And that's like the first thing you do. And like I said, after that, you can kind of use this module thing here to be able to get to these. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm collapsing all of these, and this is from my viewpoint, not so much as yours. So it might look slightly different, but it's still going to be where you find everything. So the course introduction, you're going to have to get this done first before you do anything else. Like it won't even open, like you would not have even been able to watch this course orientation had you not done the introduction yet, because it's locked down until you do. Now, that being said, under the course introduction, there's all sorts of little things that you're going to have to do. Goes over like your video instructions, how to do your discussion boards, what the outcomes are like for the course, and like what do they even mean. I try to break things down as basic as possible. But week 1 module, which is due on Sunday night, it will not unlock until you finish everything in the course orientation. The best way you can do that, obviously after this video, because it's going to be the first one, is just to go down to the bottom and hit the next button. That'll take you to the next page, then the next page, and so on and so forth till you get through the entire course orientation. Then that will unlock week 1 module. So week 1 module is, you notice it's from the 10th until the 16th. So as soon as you finish the orientation, it goes, you have all of this available. All of the week modules are organized the exact same way. So you have that, nothing new will be popping. On the weeks that we are covering chapters, you will see a week 1 learning objectives. This is going to go over the objectives and outcomes that you should know by the end of this chapter, like by the time you finish this. It's going to give you a quick introduction to chapter 17. So I'm going to click on these, just kind of go with what it is. In fact, I'm just going to open it in a new tab so we can see it. So the introduction is just kind of an overview, why it matters for us today, that kind of thing. The very next thing that you're going to have is video material. All this is extra stuff for you to be able to understand. The videos are not required to watch. Your tests won't come from the videos. None of that will. They're just there to help you understand the material a little better, okay? Back under your course module, you'll see it say week 1 study guide or week 2 study guide or blah, 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 blah. Well, this is a PDF. So what you can do is you can open this up. You can save it to your computer. You can print it out. That is my suggestion. Print it out. This is all the questions that are going to be on your weekly homework. So that way you can work offline. You don't need to be at your computer. You can shove it inside of your textbook, and then that way you can work at your own pace. These are also going to be a good study guide for the test and the exam. So your tests are going to come straight from the homework assignments. Your exams are going to come straight from the tests and homework assignments as well. So you have the multiple choice questions that are available as long as you print this out and go with it. I mean, you still have access to the PDF if you put it on your computer, but it is a lot easier to study when you have them. Then you're going to see where it has this week 1 assignments, and it'll tell you the due date. Like this is going to be due this coming Sunday at 11:59 p.m. If you submit it after that, it is going to be considered late. Discussion boards, tests, projects, things like that will lock down. They will not open up. Sorry, and you will not be able to unlock them past the deadline, which means if you miss a test, you receive a 0 for that test. If you miss your project, you receive a 0 for that project. So please make sure that you are working ahead, especially on those weeks. The weeks where you have projects and tests, those are the only 2 things that are going to be due that week besides a small discussion board. You won't have other material to read through or chapters to kind of go through, that kind of thing. It's just going to be those things. And you can see that off the calendar that I printed. So if you click on your homework, and I'm going to pull this up because it looks a little different on my end right now because you haven't unlocked it yet, it'll give you instructions that tells you where your homework's coming from, how many questions are on it, how much time, this will be 30 minutes, that you have to complete the assignment, how many attempts you're going to have to do it, and you have to complete it before then. It also shows you that if you don't attempt it before Sunday, then technically it goes in as an absence. If you complete it by Tuesday evening, you will get a late tardy for the class, but you will also receive 20% off of your daily, like off of the grade each day until then. So 20% on Monday, 20% on Tuesday. So like by time you take it on Tuesday, it's going to be 40% off. It's just best to get it done throughout the week. Now, after Tuesday PM, this material will completely lock down. Wednesday morning, all answers will be posted. That way you can pull things up and answer questions that you still got wrong. You'll be able to fix and do, and you'll have the right answers to study for your test. But it will not be unlocked, which means if you do not submit it late by Wednesday morning, you will not have the opportunity to fix this. Ever. We don't go back and do stuff. So keep those deadlines in mind. Keep making sure that you are on top of what it is that you're supposed to do. That printable calendar is going to be one of your best bets, and I would strongly suggest printing that out. Now, I'm going to pull up week 2's module real fast because there is one more other little thing that I want to show you. So after you see the assignments with your discussion board, and in the course orientation, it goes over the discussion board concepts that you really need to make sure that you read through so you post them correctly and you get all your points right. You'll see it say something like not due this week but can submit. Okay, so that's like your first video presentation. If you notice, like it's not due until the 9th of March. So you can work ahead on certain things. Like the projects are able to be worked ahead of. Make sure that in the course orientation, you reread the video essay instructions. Once we get past like week 1, I'm going to be sending out a little bit more instruction on that. There are optional like videos that you can go look at that are like example videos of good projects, that kind of thing. And it'll go into more detail, but that's going to be about 15% of your grade is the 2 video projects that you're going to be doing. There's a link already set up for Screencastify. You just have to click on that. It will take you to a recording thing. You project your presentation, like your PowerPoint on there, set up your webcam, and rock and roll. And so all of that will be in for later. Like I said, just make sure you keep up with emails and announcements that are going to go through. So over here, you're going to find your grades button. That's where you're going to obviously be able to check out your grades for the different things. And then the secure exam proctor, when you go to take your final exam, so the exam is the only thing that is being proctored in this course, you absolutely must take it through here. It will ask you for a password. I do not have access to that password. It goes under Proctorio. They have access to the password. So you have to click on that and do your proctoring, like do your exam through that. So your webcam has to be working, all of this. And again, I will send out more instructions on exactly what you need to do for your exam when we get a little bit closer to that. And giving it to you now and waiting 12 weeks is not going to work out well for us. Now, other things that are on here is mainly going to be like the library. You're going to see some Edpuzzle, which I will be posting some Edpuzzle extra credits throughout the term, and you have the option to do it or not. That is on you if you want to. Zoom is where we will be hosting any, like if you want to meet to do office hours, then we will schedule a time and we will set it up through Zoom because I don't live in Baton Rouge, so we will have to do everything digitally. Okay. Other than that, those are the main ones that you're going to use. Some of the other ones are just optional materials that Baton Rouge provides. So I just wanted you to be aware of a few things like that. So now that you have finished with this orientation, hopefully you've answered your questions correctly. Make sure that you got that book. Make sure that you have got everything set and ready to go. And make sure that you utilize this email, because if you need me for anything, that is the fastest, quickest, easiest way possible. If you happen to send me a text, I don't answer phone calls, but if you happen to send me a text, please make sure that you include your name, what course you're from, and like a good contact reply back, so that way I know. I teach high school throughout the day, so I tend to not reply unless I'm on a lunch break. So you'll get a response after 3 p.m. when I get home from my other job, and then we go back to this one, okay? So, again, just good luck. Make sure you guys are reading through your stuff and pay attention to the instructions, the deadlines, and ask those questions. When you're taking asynchronous classes, it's very important that you read everything and ask questions. So, good luck this semester, and can't wait to meet you all in your introductions.